Camera's loading in. Might just go audio. Whatever. All right. Hope everybody can hear us. Internet was kind of slow kicking in. So much slow where the camera kept on lagging out on us. So, feel free to tune in, type in, say hello. Try to get your names tossed out there for all the lovely listeners who are live, and this will also be streamed out or put out on podcast form after the fact. They gave us an audio option now in the back loop, so you kind of sound professional. I was fucking it earlier. Probably my fault. As always, everybody, welcome back to the Pure Steel Podcast. As always, this podcast is Pure Steel. Oh man, it's been a while. The Kings are back. That's the name. Yeah, new name or another title of the show. The Kings are back, and this all kind of started. This was a Monday, I think. Mm-hmm. Monday, I was sitting in the car and I stumbled across a Chael Sonnen video, and I had to send it over to the old Austin here. I was like, man, we got to get back in the swing of things here.
Yeah,
because the show is obviously named after the great Chael P. Sonnen. So
it's good to be back.
It's been a long time coming.
It has been. It's been a lot of different things going on. I switched jobs. Busy with farming.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the work's been nuts on my end too. It's just been an ongoing battle every day, it seems, just to kind of have time for yourself and to kind of kick back and dedicate more time to the show.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else new with you?
Besides the job, no, not really.
Well, I just got home from a trip. Went.
Where did you go?
So trips. Yeah. So trip. We started in Lexington, Kentucky. Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports, does that pizza review stuff. And I've seen a pizzeria in Lexington. I was like, fuck. Man, I gotta stop in and I gotta try out this pizza. It's really good. Pizzeria is called Godfather Pizza. Goodfellas Pizzeria, Lexington, Kentucky. It's in a really cool kind of strip mall. So there's a distillery next to it, and like another restaurant, a bunch of other stuff. It's like a kind of a repurposed strip mall. So they got, they got the pizza place in the corner, the big building. It's a big wide open building. You see the guys making your pizza. And then they have their big ovens in the back. And they got a bar, and they got a bunch of open seating. And it's like an old feed mill, or like an old feed distributor place. So they used to dump it off of your grain cart.
Yeah.
So they have like that old silo. And then and they have so they have tables inside that old silo. People can sit in there and eat. And they also had a whole upstairs, whole building repurposed. It's really beautiful. And they have the bricks outside, beautiful kind of area where you can eat outside. And it was too hot for me to eat outside. I don't agree with eating outside. I think eat outside, you got fucking problems. So we started there. And if I'm going to give my pizza review on that, probably 7.5 out of 10. It was a good pizza.
Oh, really? I haven't been big on the pizza lately. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of bleh.
Yeah, so then we went from Lexington, Kentucky, went through Perryville, and Perryville was a Civil War battle.
Oh, yep.
So we stopped in there, walked through the battlefield, and they had that house that the Ghost Adventures gang kind of checked out, So part of, obviously it was the bloodiest battle in Kentucky. So the reports are there's so much bloodshed during the battle. All these X amount of people died in the battle. And X amount of people died during the battle. Like it made it the bloodiest battle in history. So much blood allegedly so much blood in the hills where like guys would be slipping going up the hills, but there's so much blood in the hills and
turn the ground into mud.
Yeah, so basically, it turned it into like a blood, basically a blood, not a mudslide, but a blood slide. And then, we checked all that out. They had that house there. The surgeon who was there was basically just a volunteer. He just volunteered to come out and help. Both sides. We did both Confederate and Union soldiers, and there's so much blood on the floor that his footprints are still stained clean with all the blood surrounding. It soaked the wood.
Where he stood.
Yep. So that's a lot of blood in those hills. Obviously all the reports, a lot of blood in those hills. Actually, all the there's a lot of, you can see all like the original rifles and shit that they found about in the battleground and stuff. The original pistols and rifles and all that.
Really, they like pick them up. They pick them up and put them in a case somewhere.
Basically, yeah.
I thought
but one of the neatest things I learned about this battle is like at the end, because like they fought their battle and then like it was such a strenuous battle and like I don't know, nobody really won. It's kind of like a
stalemate.
One of those things, and stalemate, the correct word. So these guys were like, they like left all the dead. They didn't. Nobody on each side didn't pick up their dead. So they left all their dead, and they just took off to find the next, respectful line for each other to fight the next battle. And so they enlisted children from a death school to go pick up the bodies and put them in mass graves and stuff. I think they distributed the North differently. But the Confederate soldiers had a mass grave, and it's still on site there, and they have a memorial on it and all that stuff. It was actually pretty cool area, and I got to see the Wisconsin Civil War battle flag there and all that stuff. It was really cool. I'm just just sort of history aspect of it.
What a fucking terrible time
in American history.
Well, in
human history.
Human history, I guess. Like as far as like, imagine getting shot by a fucking musket. You just get fucking plugged by a giant round ball.
Yeah, cannons. They had the original cannons still there too, man. And it's so cool.
Getting stabbed by a fucking fan.
Yeah, so.
Just oh my god.
Yeah, I could literally talk about Perryville all night. Just just the history aspect of it. I loved it. It was awesome. It was great. I think if anybody wants to take like a vacation, do what we did, because I had a blast the whole time. There's like really no time to relax. We were always on the go. There's always something to do. So we went from there to, we went from Lexington to Knoxville, and then we did Clingman's Dome, which is the third highest peak east of the Mississippi River. You're up in altitude. The mountain in the south is 6,650 feet, I think, something like that. Mm-hmm. So we have to go up there. Unfortunately, it was a cloudy day, so we couldn't see a lot, and it was humid as shit. And it's a half-mile walk up to get to it.
Holy fuck!
And if you're a fat ass like me, who enjoys occasional, I don't smoke darts religiously, but I like to have a dart once in a while.
Once in a while, you gotta have one.
And it was just one of those hikes. It was tough. I made a boy of a man pretty quick up there. But like, obviously you went towards the Rockies last year, or 3 years ago now? 2 years ago.
Well, 2 years. Two summers ago now we went to South Dakota.
Now, I was naive enough to think in my head that all mountains look the same.
Oh no.
And these mountains were complete forest everywhere. Yep. Completely different.
No, they're totally different.
Beautiful, man. It was fun. Clingman's Dome, must see. We did Cumberland.
That whole area that you were in, like the whole Appalachian area.
Yeah, we did also the Cumberland Gap. Cumberland Gap's neat because one day we were in Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, and Virginia all in one day. Jesus Christ. It's just like it's just right in that corner. So just like you're just there. Oh, right. They had the lines drawn and shit. Then we went from Knoxville. We did the Knoxville Zoo, which is really cool, and actually got to see a red wolf for the first time in my life. They're extremely extinct animals.
Well, endangered would be the word you're looking for.
Well, damn, they're endangered. They were like, I think they're.
That's what endangered means. They're almost extinct.
Whatever. Anyways, I can't talk. I'm just like in between here. Anyway, like this was the natural wolf of Wisconsin, not the gray wolf. The red wolf was a natural wolf of Wisconsin. So to actually get my eyes on this beast that was never here, and then what what the Wisconsin DNR gave us was the wrong species of wolf. We're supposed to have the red wolf.
Well,
there's timber wolves, which are a little bit different species of wolf. Yeah, they gave us elk and moose killers. We have whitetail, and then they introduced elk after the fact. So
yeah, but do you know what happens to the deer population if you don't have natural predators
besides humans? Yeah, fair point. But they would have given us a red wolf and been a whole different scenario. Anyways, back to the point. I'm not going to have an animal. I'm not going to have an animal debate.
They're going to kill just as many animals as a fucking gray wolf.
Yeah. Well, the red wolf is actually the max weight it gets 80 pounds.
So it's a coyote.
It's bigger than
it's like a fucking German
Shepherd. See, that's when you look at it. Yes, it looks a lot like a German Shepherd, but it has the wolf. It has. It's been a while. It's been a while. Anyway, yeah, it has that pointed nose like a wolf has. It's really cool. It's a really beautiful animal. So we went from Knoxville to the Knoxville Zoo. We went to Nashville. And then, we get there.
Did you spend a lot of money in Nashville?
No, I didn't actually. We bought a pizza. That was it, basically. Anyways, get to the pizza. We went to a place in Nashville called Desano's Pizzeria. And that was the best fucking pizza I have ever fucking had, dude. It was.
Where? What's it called?
Desano's. Oh, my God.
I'm going to have to, in like 2 weeks, we're going to North Carolina and we're going to stop in Nashville on the way back.
Desano's Pizza. It is the best authentic.
Chicago style?
No, New York style. Chicago style is not pizza. Chicago style it's a fucking lasagna. It's what it is. But that dude, we get to this place because like everywhere we called, packed. Just
yeah. Well, dude, Nashville.
Extremely rude people on the phone. Everywhere else we called, I'm serious, dude. It's like, do you guys? Because we want to reserve. No, we don't do reservations. Blah blah blah. Show up, get your seat, peace out. Just like, all right, well, cool. Well, thanks for your customer service. Really appreciate it.
Right.
Called Desano's and he goes, yeah, we got some seats. Yeah, feel free to stop by. Got there in a half hour, sat down, or actually got to order your pizza, stand up at the counter. You look and you give you a menu. They go into our lovely back, sit down, look at their beautiful ovens. This is the best pizza here.
So what do they have? Like just pizza out? Like you can like. I want a slice of this.
Nope.
Or you just like order.
You order your pizza and they make it for you. So this is.
Oh, okay.
So they bring out this pizza.
It's not like a pizza buffet. It's just like an actual.
This is the actual place to get a real pizza.
Right.
And they don't. I'm gonna say it now. It's not pizza that cut fucking squares. It's got to be fucking slices.
Dude, that's got to be like a fucking Midwest thing. Like a Midwest.
Fucking hate squares on
pizza. My mom cuts pizza in squares, and I literally told her. I've told her before, like if you cut this pizza in a fucking square, I'm gonna throw it in the garbage.
I hate it.
And she's like, well, it feels like you're eating more pizza. It's like it's the same amount.
Yeah. I'm not. I was born at night, not last night.
Right. Like. And then you just get all the pieces in the middle that have no, like they're just you pick it up and everything falls off.
You get more pizza out of a fucking pizza roll than you do a slice of a square of pizza. Anyways, Desano's Pizza in Nashville, amazing. I recommend to anybody. If I was going to give it a review, because I haven't had New York style pizza, 8.1. That good. Really good pizza. Like top of the line, really good pizza. Best pizza I ever had. But I can't give it a 10 because I haven't had authentic New York stuff. I haven't been to New York to get pizza. So I can't give it an unfair score. I got to give it a reasonable 8.1.
I guess I'm an idiot. I don't really know the difference.
You'll get if you stop there. I promise you, you will know the difference. It was beautiful pizza. It actually warms my fucking heart. Oh my God, I miss it. I would honestly go back in a heartbeat just for the pizza. On that standpoint, Nashville, get rid of the country music. It's bullshit. It's a fucking fraudulent genre full of idiots. I fucking hate it. And I just, oh my God, you walk down there and you just hear the gossip. oh my God, we gotta go to Kid Rock's bar. Oh my God.
Just the last time I was in Nashville, the whole week I was there, we only went to, I bet you I could count on one hand how many bars we went to. And the one we hung out the most in was Alan Jackson's Good Time.
I didn't see that. I looked for
it. That bar is actually, that one was really fun.
We went to
all the music there was actually, it was good.
So we went to a bar. We did go to a bar down there because obviously it's humid as shit. And I wanted to get air conditioning.
Well, the rule at his bar is like you can't play. It all has to be like 2000s and older country music.
I can get on board of this.
You can't play any of like the new shit. Like if you go up and request a song to a band or a person that's up there singing, and it's like before, if it's like a new song that's on the radio, they'll be like, we don't play that here. It's like a rule, and he legitimately watches it. Like he must have like cameras and shit that are hooked up to wherever he fucking lives and like he'll like legitimately kick people off the stage. Like if he catches people playing like modern country music,
and with one more time, everybody, we are live. You can comment, you can pitch in like Bryce W. Ripley did. Just feel free to tune in, and kind of hang out with us.
And there are other like genre music bars in Nashville. I went to one.
I'm not saying I want to go to a full out fucking double pit metal bar, but I'm just saying.
Well, they had one in the Cross.
I swear, dude, you walk down this fucking road, all right?
Everybody that went to it was fucking 50 years old. They looked black with their jackets.
Nice. But yeah, anyway, you walk down this fucking road. Yeah, downtown the Cross. It's a great place. Carl owns it. Carl lives right down the road here. He owns it. But you walk down this dump, and it's just like there's construction like everywhere down there. So like it's just a dump, dude. It's just like there's people everywhere.
You were born in that.
So you walk down this road. There's construction everywhere. Obviously, the plumbers down south don't know how to cap off pipes, and when you leave because it smelled like shit in a couple spots. It does not bother me. Bothers people.
Probably bothers other people.
Yes, it does. Plumbers. It's just like it stinks. It stinks like shit in a couple spots walking on the road, and the wind goes west, so it goes right downtown. So you can literally smell this sewer right downtown. Whatever. Yeah, it kind of goes with the country music vibe, I guess. It smells like shit, and most of the city people are going to smell in their life. It don't matter. You're not wrong. But yeah, we actually stopped at a really cool bar. I guess as I get older here, I kind of take after more like my dad. I want to go to the fucking deadest bar I could find, and we found this bar. There was fucking 3 people in it. These 2 people there, like in their upper 60s, and there's one guy sitting on stage. And what caught my ear was he was playing "If I Could Walk" with 500 Miles.
Oh yeah.
And he was playing that. I'm like, this is where we're going. Let's fucking do it. I walked in there. I got a nice warm Miller Lite. Then I got another one, thinking the second one might be cold. Got up. I told myself in my head, there's colder Miller Lite in Wisconsin. Walked out, and then we went back to the room. We woke up in Nashville, and then we headed back towards Louisville. And I didn't bring it down, but we on our way back to Louisville. We got we went to a really cool distillery called Green River Distillery. It was a 10th distillery in Kentucky, and obviously the first one was Evan Williams.
Really?
Yep. Which we went to that too, and we kind of go down through my trip here. And we got there.
Do they
make Evan Williams, and they make.
Well, I'm trying to think if they used to sell it at the IGA.
I think they still do.
They made the honey whiskey.
Yeah, they have a bunch of different brands there. They also make mellow corn and a couple other types of whiskeys, and I believe because these Kentucky distributors, when they have their number, like when I said number 10 on all their bottles, they have their distributor number on there and their number what they are. And like Buffalo Trace is actually in the 300. It was amazing whiskey. It's nothing to do with how good their whiskey is. Right. It's just like these upper echelon guys, like in the top 20, they show off their numbers. And we got Green River number 10. That's what they call it. That's just the bottle. It's just like the name of the brand of the whiskey. That's like a more superior whiskey, Wyoming whiskey. They don't have the Kentucky number on there because it's a different type of whiskey. It's not a Kentucky bourbon. It's a different type of bourbon. And then
bourbon's not whiskey.
You can debate that, but I because like on these on the Wyoming whiskey, it says Wyoming whiskey, small batch bourbon whiskey.
Okay, so not all whiskey is bourbon, though,
right? I asked these questions while I was there. I was like, yeah. And the guy just kind of top stepped around it, and I was just like, well, we'll leave it at that. You know,
I'm big into the rum. I've not.
I like my whiskey, man. They're good. Actually, this distillery makes the Duke whiskey, which is John Wayne's personal recipe. Oh, really? Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's actually a really nice place. They actually don't sell any of his whiskey there.
Do they sell it in the fucking porcelain jugs with the 3 X's on it?
No, they don't do that.
That's what they should do.
That's
a
neat
idea.
Yeah, so anyways, we did that. We got to Louisville, stayed the night, woke up, and then we went to the Muhammad Ali Museum.
Yeah, that was really cool. I was really jealous that you were there.
Amazing experience. Actually, I was really kind of happy they didn't really touch so much on his boxing career as they did with social activism.
Right.
You know, obviously becoming a Muslim for him was a big thing, and then his treatment for basically getting not fighting in the war was a big thing, and
right, because that was a big thing. Like everybody talked about.
Draft dodge. Yeah. So his standpoints, very very noble, and very. It's Muhammad Ali is like the greatest of all time. You know what I mean? So,
you could argue that he was awesome.
Yeah.
If it wasn't,
if you could think about one fight, fucking him and Frazier, man, the trilogy with those two, iconic. And then
yeah, we were at that fucking restaurant in Soldiers Grove. Right across the street from the gas station.
Yep.
And we were there for something. I can't remember. Anyway,
you're thinking of Easttown. You're thinking
no, I'm not. I'm thinking of Soldiers Grove.
Or the Country Gardens.
Is that what it is?
I think so. They're talking about Soldiers Grove and
Yeah, Soldiers Grove for sure. But anyways, we were there eating, and it was they had ESPN on it. Must have been the anniversary of the fight day because they had the first fight out of the trilogy where Frazier won.
Yep. Close fight. The one thing that decided that fight was a knockdown in the 10th round. Man.
Yep. We stayed for the whole thing. They played it like they literally played it like it was a live fight. Like they didn't do like they did like whatever commercial breaks or whatever, but like they didn't cut it, like it was. I guess
my mom came on and said, and my grandpa loved boxing. I guess it runs in the family. So the Muhammad Ali Museum, absolutely amazing. Anybody that ever wants to take a trip, it's a little bit of a walk. You got to do quite a bit of walk. Obviously, you got to see everything. You got to see the robes, his titles. There's 2 rings in there. I think one was actually the ring that they bought from the promotion and put it in there. That I allegedly that he fought George Foreman on. And then they also had his personal training gym ring in there. So he used to go to Pennsylvania to do all his training. And they had his whole setup there, his speed bag and all that stuff. And really cool. Then they have kind of an art section, and then obviously on your way out, just like Disney World, your fucking merchandise on the left. And I got a couple things. So yeah, it was extremely
you can't go to a spot like that.
Extremely unique place, man. And that night we went to a little place called the Waverly Hills Sanitarium.
We've been talking about that.
And we are planning a Pure Steel podcast trip to Waverly Hills Sanitarium to do the public investigation. I think early October. I think we were kind of kicking around. Yeah, but what a place, man. it's nothing short of being probably probably the most mysterious places I've ever been. Because I kind of went in there thinking,
You went into daylight.
Daylight, and then actually, it was like dawn or
Dusk.
yeah, light time after late afternoon
late
to dusk. Yeah,
late afternoon.
So we caught like that the turning of like daylight to night towards the end there, and I say it to people like, yeah, I went to Waverly Hills. Everyone's like, oh, that place is scary. I never found it to be scary. I found it to be very intriguing, very sad. Obviously, we had Carl Johnson on, we had Jason on, we had.
Speaking of Carl, I was digging through my phone the other day.
Found the picture.
I found that fucking picture.
Ugh.
I never deleted it, like he told me to.
Yeah. Of course. Anyway,
after he told me not to stare at it for a long
time. Yeah. So the place is sad, eerie. It's an old building.
Well, is an old TB hospital, right? You said.
Old tuberculosis.
Yeah, those places were not. They were basically like, if you were sent to that place, like that's a death sentence. You were pretty much not coming out of there.
Yeah, they have some really cool stories there, man. So, there was a lady there who was a nurse, and they allegedly, they showed us. The cool thing about Waverly Hills is they had their own paranormal library, like what they had caught there, and they don't put it out on the internet. They don't want people to take ownership of it, and they don't want people to tamper with what they have. So they send their stuff out to like logical professionals, so they can analyze it. And it stays between the two parties. Does not go on the internet, which I think is very noble. In my opinion, it's very respectful. Because all the people that died there, and they had a story between this nurse that they allegedly caught. They had the picture. If you take the tour, they will show you the picture. These families taking the picture, and behind them, they caught a second face walking behind them.
That wasn't part of it.
Was not part of the picture. And actually, where they took the picture, they were standing up against glass. There's like a little bit of space between them. They're standing up against glass, and there's no way to get a reflection because basically this place is a monstrosity. So you got to figure the second floor of this place is probably, if I'm standing like head top of my head all the way to the ground, probably 26 feet. It's huge. That's just the second floor. The place is huge.
Right. Yeah.
And like all you can realistically look out that same window, all you can see is trees.
On one side.
Yeah, that's the only glare you're going to get is green. And the person in the picture had a red like a red bandana. So they actually kind of pinpointed who this person was, and
they figured out who it was.
Yep, because only certain nurses carry these.
Oh, would wear the.
And then they tracked out who died in this building that was who contracted
that was a nurse that was.
So they found somebody who worked on that floor, who was one of those nurses who had red bond in her hair, and she was in her room, and ironically, her sister contracted tuberculosis. So her and her sister shared a room. Okay, so we got to that part. This is where we get creepy. This story itself, I actually put my the hairs on my arms stood up because I got like really, well, it's really kind of neat. So these two, they stayed in the same room. The nurse passed away, and then in between that period, they found the cure for tuberculosis, and her sister lived. They were catching EVPs for a long time, asking for her sister, who was named Maggie. They have documentation of this. Asking for Maggie, like they get the EVP, where's Maggie? That's all they catch. Where's Maggie? So up to these years, Maggie lived, a long life, and she passed away. And then they were catching her asking for her sister. And a couple years down the line, they stopped getting the EVPs asking for each other. So the story, they like to think that they found each other and they found peace. So I thought that was a pretty touching story. Actually, like that story alone kind of took my mentality from this is probably one of the most haunted places in America to this is one of the most sad places in America, just like that. Anybody that wants like one of these tours to Waverly Hills Sanitarium in Louisville, Kentucky, absolutely amazing. check it out. We're gonna go.
Yeah.
And then I believe Terry's gonna go with, and it's gonna be an absolute blast. I cannot wait. Can't wait. Anyways, that was kind of my trip. That was it. We did Waverly Hills and came back. It was a long drive. Illinois is the worst state to drive through. Fuck the Bears. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to catch up on in between here. So obviously we're gonna hit the number one thing. I went to go see Thor, Love and Thunder.
I did too. Like I think it was the day or a couple days after you went. We were gonna go together, but it fell apart.
Yeah. To me, I thought this was the best Thor movie yet. I think Christian Bale deserves not just one Oscar, but he deserves an Oscar until this movie gets stale. So like 10 years from now, he should still be getting Oscars for this fucking performance. His performance as Gore, the God Butcher, was everything I expected and more.
Yeah, and when you bring in a heavy hitter like him, like it's not going to be.
To give that character a personality like that, they nailed it. I mean, I hope we get to see him again.
I like what they did with this story too in this one, because the story of Gore in the comics is fucking wild.
Yeah,
it's like way too far out there for.
But they nailed it. Every aspect of this movie, they nailed.
Yeah, and like I was telling you before we started tonight, like, the amount of people that are just fucking saying that it's the worst out of the four, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't know how your brain works. Like, you can sit through a movie like that and be like, this movie sucks.
I've only done it to one. I've only done it to one movie. I got up and I left. That was The Last Exorcism. Worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I got up and I just walked out. I got to the point where they got to the incest, spoiler alert, and I was like, yeah, peace out, motherfucker. I am not watching this anymore. I don't want to watch a movie about cash. Fucking cool.
But yeah, the new Thor movie is definitely worth.
Oh, absolutely worth it.
Whatever amount of money you got to pay to see it.
Oh man, it's so good. I really enjoyed every second of that movie. I haven't seen any. I watched the Gray Man on Netflix.
I heard that was his ass.
Really, I loved it.
Really,
I really loved it, man. It was Chris Evans plays a bad guy.
Yeah.
That's what I really liked about it. Kind of get him in a different role.
If you like to see him as a bad guy, have you watched Knives Out?
No,
that's a really good one where he plays kind of a. Well, he is. This is spoiler alert. He is the bad guy, but that's all I'll say. But yeah, that's another one where he plays a character. That's really good. Really good. It's like a whodunit type of deal.
Yeah.
Like where they're all in a house and the fucking old man dies and they gotta figure out who did it and why.
I can see Captain America doing that.
And it's got 007 in it.
Really? I'm interested now.
Yeah, and Don Johnson.
Donnie Johnson's in that? The fucking Marlboro Man's in that?
Yeah, who the fuck is the lady from Halloween? The hell is that actress's name?
And yeah, I know you're talking. I just can't. Yeah.
God damn it! What's her name?
Any help? Anybody out there? The lead woman on the movie Halloween. Anyways, not important.
Yeah, she's in it.
She's really good.
The dude that played the Iceman and or Mr. November or whatever.
Not Connery.
Nope. The hitman they call him. I think they call him the Iceman. They're not Mr. November.
You talked about the guy that played Iceman. The plane movie with Tom Cruise.
No, God damn it.
Okay,
no.
that's Val Kilmer.
No, Iceman. He's a notorious hitman for mob. They called him the Iceman.
Oh,
they made a movie about him.
Yeah, I know you're talking. Yeah. Okay, anyway, yeah.
The guy, the fucking same guy that played General Zod. Fucking Superman.
Yep. Yeah, he's good too. He doesn't get enough TV time. He's amazing. Stranger Things.
I've been watching it. I just started season 4, so don't fuck it up for me.
Everybody's dead. No, that's a really good ending. Eddie is amazing. Eddie.
We just met Eddie Munson.
Yeah, he was definitely He's the man.
Him and that fucking Dustin, dude. Dustin cracks me up because he reminds me so much of Cole.
Yeah.
Shout out
to him. Yeah, it's such a good season. Jamie Lee Curtis, thank you, Mom.
That's where it is. Thank you.
She's absolutely amazing. She did such. She's really good. She's done a lot of good movies, man.
You know they're making them. Did you see the last Halloween movie?
I have not seen the last Halloween movie. I kind of gave up because they're all good. I seen the
ending of the last one's fucking insane.
I believe it. They're all insane. They're all good
fucking
movies.
Kills an entire town. They all fucking corner him, like not corner. They like surround him in the middle of a fucking street, and they think he's dead. And he gets up and he fucking wipes out the whole town.
How big is the town? Must be size.
Yeah,
it's a big town. It's a lot of killing. No, in the words of Major Payne, killing is my business. Business is good.
Yeah, there's one more that I think comes out either this.
Yeah, Halloween End, right?
Halloween Ends. Yeah, it's gonna be the last one. I would imagine they're all getting too old.
And they're getting, yeah. I watched the origin one, but and that came out. I think I was a senior in high school. The My Little Origin Story.
Not the Rob Zombie one.
I think it was Rob Zombie one.
With this, whatever this trilogy or whatever series it is now,
does not tie into that one. Yeah. But that's the last one I watched. Not that I don't like the movies. I enjoy the movies. There just comes a time and point where you're just like,
yeah, and it's
kind of how I felt after Iron Man 3. I'm like, I really don't want to watch any more Iron Man movies. I'm done with it after this one. And it was. But I really thought that movie was kind of. I think that was the worst MCU movie so far. I think those people are idiots. I really do. I don't want to be mean, but you're an idiot if you think that. Thor 2 was great. I really liked it. I like that movie. That's one I really liked, actually. I really like that movie. I like that. See, I like Paul Rudd's kind of quirky.
My least favorite one out of all of them is fucking Captain Marvel.
I haven't seen that.
Don't even.
See, that's what I heard, and I haven't watched. I'm just saying, when I've watched, I just don't like her.
The only story beats that you miss are the fact that the fucking Nick Fury is the Skrull for fucking the whole time, and the real Nick Fury is camped out in space. Fuck that is.
So many things I gotta catch up on. What We Do in the Shadows is back.
I have not watched that yet. God. I just found out that show was about vampires.
That's amazing. It's the best. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That Taika Waititi, man, he's a fucking genius.
Dude, he's so good.
Have you watched Reservation Dogs?
Yeah, I love that show too.
The second season comes out soon. Yeah, he's another.
I think the 10th. I think either the third or 10th.
He writes that show too, or directs it or whatever he does with it. But.
What We Do in the Shadows, man, it clicks everything for me. Comedy. Story's amazing. I have yet to watch an episode and not chuckle. It's really good.
I want to say like one of the between that show and his Jojo Rabbit movie or whatever, the fucking Nazi one. Those have got to be like the two things from him that I have not watched.
Huh.
He's literally a fucking brilliant filming.
He's brilliant. Yeah. So the TV season's back. House of Dragons starts next month.
Yeah, I gotta get my HBO back for that.
I'm excited, man. Looks good.
Snow. They got the Jon Snow sequel coming out, man.
Ken Harrington's coming back for Snow. I'm curious who all ties into that. Obviously, we know we're gonna get Tormund.
Yeah, and they'll do something dumb like kill him off the first episode.
Fuck, they will. I'll shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work on this big beard for nothing. This big red beard for nothing. I do this for Tormund.
I was really excited to see him in the second season of
Witcher.
The Witcher. Yeah.
I can't believe he cut his beard off that fucking role.
When he was the fucking pig man thing, bear pig.
Yeah, that's what it was. I mean, they don't sugarcoat it.
I was like watching it, and I was like, that definitely is him. But I kept watching it, and I was like, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
And then he turned into a human, and I'm like, it really was.
He kind of reminds me of AJ Hawk in a way.
No, not in the slightest. I'm not going to hear you on it.
So AJ Hawk had that long blonde hair, right?
Well,
whole,
this guy's got red.
I know, but his whole playing career, he had that long hair, and the hair kind of made him look like, whatever. When he cut his hair, look like a completely different fucking person. You know what I mean? Like because we associate long hair, with people like that. So like Clay Matthews, AJ Hawk, all the long haired, like Hightower who played the Cardinals, long ass dreads, Al Harris, Randy Moss's afro. We kind of associate all these players with like these different hairstyles, right? And then so Tormund is known for this. The guy, Christopher Heavey, who plays Tormund, is known for this big ass red beard.
Yep.
And he looks, I couldn't even picture what he looks like. If I could describe how he looked like with a beard, I'd be like, oh, he had a big, whatever.
Fucking big
completely different human being. Seeing him in person, seeing him without a beard is like,
no, he does not look that way.
No, oh man, but
because he was in the
Fast and Furious.
No, what was he?
Yeah, he's in the not the newest one before that.
I stopped watching that.
I just watched it because of him. I think Vin Diesel can. Anyways.
You're on the same page as The Rock,
though. Yeah. I'm Team Dwayne, man. What do you want me to say?
Anyways. Oh, he was in the thing right there. He was one of the Norwegian characters.
That's one thing I think I idolize about him. The Norwegian roots. And he can really fucking swing a battle axe after White Walkers. He can really fuck up White Walkers.
He fucking cried like a baby when he almost died.
Wow.
When the Hound had to save him.
The Hound had really sad eyes. Well, yeah, he had the best chance of bringing a Arthur. The Hound in there, the little guy took a chance. Not wrong. I'm really excited. I want to see if Arya comes back. I want to see, obviously, I think we know who will all be in it. Obviously Sophie Turner.
You think so? I don't think
so. Because they gotta have some sort of link to like a future conflict, and they gotta have some sort of link to him going back to Winterfell. They gotta have some.
Dude, did you know in the books when he died, they call his direwolf his name Ghost because in the book, when he dies, his ghost spirit or whatever possesses Ghost the direwolf.
Yep.
I never knew that.
Well, Jon Snow is also a warg in the books too.
Or yeah.
All the Stark kids have warg abilities.
Not just fucking the crippled one.
Yeah, they all have that ability. So in the books, they always talk about having wolf dreams, and it was actually them taking possession. I read it on the internet. I listened to them on the internet.
Oh, you do like the audiobook thing?
I did for the first book, yes.
Well, I mean, I'm not.
Time for a new pair of dudes.
I just got these. They're fucking falling apart already. Anyways.
Yeah, but they have these wolf dreams, and it's supposed to be them taking like a mental possession of their warg abilities to control animals or control their dire wolf.
So I do the fucking audiobook.
I don't care. I think some listening.
I do the HP Lovecraft. I listen to them. How people like talk when the books are written.
I think the guy who does the voice acting for Arthur Morgan should do audiobook for everything. And I also think the guy who does John Marston should audiobook everything too. That's how he talks. That's his voice. Like he doesn't voice act that. That's just how the guy who plays Arthur, not Arthur. That's just
John Marston.
Yeah, because actually the guy who plays Arthur is actually from Australia. So he has to voice act a little bit just to get that, strong Western American,
Well, that guy has like a natural.
Yeah. Okay. The guy who played, I'll show you a video after the show, but yeah, that's his voice. That's how he talks. He sounds just like John Marston. It's hilarious. Because I follow him on Instagram, and I like
It's
purposely
like
watch.
the guy that plays Trevor.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same. He's like literally the same guy.
And then the guy that plays Dutch doesn't do zero voice acting. That's how we talk. Pretty neat.
Dude, for the longest time, I always thought the guy that played Dutch was the dude. He played one of the fucking bad guys in Deadwood.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Not Swearinger, but the other guy that
Yeah.
he fucking fought with all the time. I always thought that guy played Dutch.
He'd be a good fit.
Oh
NFL's back.
yeah. I gotta sneeze.
NFL season is here. Training camps all kicked off.
I just can't.
Morgan Freeman's voice. He can narrate everything too. Morgan Freeman can narrate anything as well, and I
He
would listen.
literally narrated didn't he narrate a show about God on the History Channel?
I think he did. I'm pretty sure. NFL season is upon us. Julio Jones signed with Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I haven't paid attention to any of that.
Kyler Murray got a big contract extension with the Cardinals, and in that contract, they added he had to do a mandatory of like 4 hours extra of film study, and then they pulled it from the contract after he signed it. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped up for it. Obviously, the story of Mike Zimmer, Kirk Cousins came on. I don't know if you've seen that. So basically, long story short, they went this past season when they were in Detroit. This would be like 2 games before they fired him. Or no, because he coached the whole season.
He went the whole season.
So it had been the game that Detroit.
It was one of the ones that the Vikings lost in overtime.
No, they won. They won by a field goal. And then I guess the story was they had to rip the whole season. And
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, he was also God and Bruce Almighty. But anyways, they went the whole season. And then, towards the end, the whole riff, the whole, whatever, defensive coach, offensive, obviously quarterback, whatever, if that's what you want to call him. They, had a whole thing throughout the year. They played the Lions game. Cousins drove them down the field. They kicked a field goal, and they won the game. And he got in Zimmer's face and said, "You're welcome. I just saved your fucking job." And then Mike Zimmer is quoted saying, "This was the closest I ever came to punching a player in the face."
I want to say that like maybe Mike Zimmer probably would have won that fight.
I'm saying, dude, Mike Zimmer. I think the biggest thing that you were nothing. Obviously, I'm not a Vikings fan, but I think if I had to take a choice between Mike Zimmer or Kirk Cousins, I think I would have kept Zimmer because Zimmer was he's an outstanding coach.
It's just another one of those situations where they had 2 bad seasons and they get rid of a coach.
So what blew my mind about them getting rid of Zimmer in their offseason,
besides the fact that it didn't make sense.
So they get rid of Zimmer, and then this offseason they go out and get all these defensive players.
Right.
Give the guy a shot. Give him one more season. I would have got rid of my quarterback before I got rid of Zimmer.
If you're gonna load your team full of defensive players with a fucking coach whose focus was on defense, then like what are you doing? Like why you're just shooting yourselves in the foot?
I mean, you really don't need to have. I mean, if your quarterback is what he thinks he is, and he's at this stage of his career with the weapons he has around him, you really don't need a coordinator. You need a guy who's going to signal on plays, or you're going to have your quarterback do kind of.
Right.
You have Justin Jefferson, you have Adam Thielen, you have Dalvin Cook, and you have is that other running back still there? I guess I don't know. Madison, he's a stud too. I mean, you have an arsenal of weapons. You don't need an offensive coach to coach this. You have the talent there to do it yourself. Right. What you need is a guy. You need to give your defensive coach defensive weapon or defensive tools. So give him corners. Harrison Smith can't do it by himself. He is great. Harrison Smith is great. Probably a future Hall of Famer. Great. He's really good. Barr was dinged up last season. A couple other guys in the defense were dinged up this past season. One of your key additions dinged up all last season. He played one game, and he's never going to be what he was. But then this year they go basically all in on getting defensive help. And Patrick Peters, he's a great player, but he's not what he was. You got Patrick Peters as a shadow of yeah, he gave you he gave you those instances where he has it, but he's also late in his career. He's not what he was. I mean, you've seen it firsthand. Anton Winfield, who's a great player. I a lot of respect for Anton Winfield. He's a great player. He played the game the right way. It's like, what am I going to do? Sign Sherman next? Richard Sherman next, and say I go up there and I feel like the whole. I feel like they went backwards. Oh, yeah, maybe they'll recover, maybe they won't. I really think if I'm going to take my picks this year, obviously the Packers need to lose the division before I can vote against them. Obviously, this is the year for them to have a good defensive team. Obviously, they have Alexander. They got 2 safeties. They got realistically they have 3 corners. The rookie that they had last year, the Packers had last year, played outstanding all year. They had the guy that went to the Pro Bowl for them, Rasul Douglas. They got Jair Alexander, who's probably a top 3 corner right now in the league. They got Kenny Clark, who is undoubtedly probably a top 5 defensive tackle in the league right now. And they loaded up. They got Campbell back. They drafted a stud from Georgia. They drafted 2 studs from Georgia. They got a defensive tackle they drafted in the first round. They got a middle linebacker they drafted from Georgia. So they got a continuity of 3 tiers of Georgia elite, Georgia players. So they have that built-in continuity, which I actually like this philosophy. They got that built-in continuity. They already played together. They understand language together, and obviously the familiar. It won't be such a weird coming into a new locker room thing. They're going to know each other off the bat. So I think that's kind of a good thing for them. And then obviously the biggest struggle is going to be offense for the Packers. That's going to be kind of weird. Obviously, they got 12, and 12's going to win a bunch of regular season games, probably choke in the playoffs. That's the way it goes. Tampa Bay stacking up. Again, late, bunch of veterans. What else is new? Cowboys are going to choke this one away again. I really liked San Diego. I think San Diego's going to do some big things this year. I'm going to just shout out of Canada, my championship team picks. I'm going to take San Diego, Buffalo. And then I'm going to take in the NFC, Tampa Bay, and probably a rematch, Tampa Bay, Green Bay. I think that defense of Green Bay is that good, but I think they lose.
Think the Rams are in the
I believe in Super Bowl hangover, though.
could be, but
One thing I do miss about Kentucky, though, the backup prices.
let me see.
Yeah, man. It's fun. Yeah, the trip was good. NFL's back, so we got to get back in the swing of doing more football talk.
Yeah, and like I said, now with this new job, my gosh, the hours are fucking way nicer.
Big news out of college football, though, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that? Dude, to me, this is something I'm just weirded out about. First of all, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
we're talking about the same thing that I think we're talking about. Did I get you?
Oh yeah, you got all of it. So the news out, obviously, if you follow sports, you already know the story. USC and UCLA are the new additions to
the Big Ten, which is now the Big fucking 18.
Yeah, the Big 18, I guess you can call it.
It fucking doesn't make any sense at all. Because now you got teams, you got fucking USC, which is on the fucking
Los Angeles,
the fucking coast of California.
Yep.
And you got fucking Maryland and Rutgers, which is in fucking Kentucky.
So, from my understanding is you won't. I don't think you're an Ohio State fan. I don't think you may. Obviously the Big Ten's gonna rack up TV ratings. So, I think the farthest.
Obviously it's got to do with all money.
Yeah. Well, it's money grab for them because
for the Big Ten.
Yeah. No, for UCLA and USC. For the value is all for them. The Big Ten will say, yeah, come on in. It's going to help our TV ratings. But it's going to benefit them more because they're going to get more primetime games. They're going to get.
All right,
right now, let's tell you this right now. All right.
Big Ten is one of the.
So mid-tier, mid-season college football. What are you going to watch? You're going to watch Alabama versus Arkansas? Or are you going to watch UCLA or USC versus Iowa.
I'll probably watch both of them.
I would too. I'm just telling you, this is what they're doing.
I would think most people are going to tune into Alabama.
So the team, yeah. So I don't think that's the case. I think we're getting more meaningful games now in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but there's no. That's the thing about like the SEC.
It's gonna make the one-loss teams in the Big Ten look better than the one-loss teams in the ACC. So this is going to be so.
But
what's going to happen here is the SEC is putting in 2 teams a year in the playoff, anyways. In this belligerent 4-team playoff.
Yeah, I've never understand the 4-team fucking.
Well, in how many years now it's been 2 teams on the SEC? It's been Georgia.
LSU, Alabama, and Georgia and Alabama.
Yes. So
Alabama's done it every year since they implemented.
Yeah. So this is the trend. And that one year that Clemson lost that one game, people were fighting hand over fist that Oregon should have gone on over that.
Well, it
wouldn't matter, no, but
slaughtered anyway.
So I think what the Big Ten is doing now that Michigan is having a resurgence, and USC or Ohio State's having kind of resurgence, and
Michigan had 1 year of good play, and they fucking embarrassed themselves.
Well, I think what we're seeing now, this could be a good, it's a good thing for Big Ten football. Michigan does good. You have to. So
it's a good thing for all of the teams. The Badgers, fucking
everybody.
Michigan
It's
State,
good. It's good for
Iowa.
Everybody. So it makes 1-loss teams now in the Big Ten look better going towards the board.
Yeah, but they need to bring in like bigger. Like USC was good a long time ago.
USC is going to be good again, though. If you take your dice and throw them, because
I'm not throwing them on USC.
So I'm going to say this right now: USC just got Lincoln Riley as a head coach. He was the coach at Oklahoma. Oh yeah, obviously he brings in talent. Obviously, you look at
dude that used to coach the Badgers. Fucking went to Arkansas and there was no.
He went to Arkansas. Yeah, Brett Bielema went to Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 years he was there, he fucking run the program into the ground.
Yeah, but Brett Bielema also wasn't putting 3 consecutive Heisman Trophy winners. So
I mean, there was a couple years there where he was they were up there.
Yeah, but they were not. He didn't put 3 Heisman winning quarterbacks back to back to back. So the idea is they're obviously he can obviously recruit. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, with the Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts. 3 Heisman winning quarterbacks all came out of his tutelage. Anyway,
yeah, I know what you mean.
So these guys came out of there. They're doing what they're doing. They're all in the NFL. He can obviously recruit. So it won't be this year, it won't be next year, but probably 3 years from now, USC will probably be back in that top 15, top 10 range. Obviously, the Badgers are always going to be the Badgers. The only thing that's going to benefit the Badgers in this is late winter games versus USC and Madison.
They'll fucking win. They'll win 10 games and then they'll lose the last fucking 4 that matter. So I'm so fucking over the Badgers. I would love to be a Badger fan, but I just can't do it.
So yeah,
it's the same shit every year.
Well,
they win the games they're not supposed to.
I love college football, but I think the NIL is going to kill college football. Name, image, likeness.
Oh god, yeah. That one dude, they had an Alabama player in a fucking Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah. And
he got fucking some stupid fucking crazy amount of money.
The freshman quarterback of Alabama last year made more money with NIL than
it's good. What it's gonna do
than Trevor Lawrence did his NFL contract.
It's gonna kill the fucking NFL is what it's gonna do. Because these fucking people are gonna be like, if I don't have to play football and I can just do fucking PD spots, they make just as much money.
Yeah, but
I mean, obviously not just as much money, but
I think the NFL is more of like a slippery slope because if you perform in college, they expect you to perform at the next level.
Right.
So their fame is only going to come at a 4-year period. If they go to the NFL and peter out, they're done.
Right.
Baker Mayfield.
But if you can go to college,
Baker Mayfield's a prime example right now. He had that big Hulu deal.
To college and fucking literally have it paid for, and then just make a cool mill or a couple mil right off the top, and then just say, I'm going to go to the fucking NFL just because, and then if it doesn't work out, like at least you got something to fall back on.
Yeah. Well, I can see both sides. Sorry, I'm not saying.
I'm not saying that like colleges shouldn't like.
I think the kids should get paid, but I think there's got to be a cap. I mean, Brian Day was talking. I guess he went to the boosters and said we're going to need $13 million every year to put a team out there. To put a team out there is willing to compete.
Well, that and like this. What bugs me about it is the people that are getting fucking making money off their likeness are the people that have their fucking college paid for.
Yep.
Like, what about all the other kids on the team that don't?
They're all going to get a cut though. Not a big one, but NCAA football will be back next year on this time, and every single player.
You're talking. What do you mean, like no way.
Every single player featured on that game will get a pay. Will get a check.
I will buy. Don't see that's how dumb I am. I'm bitching about it, and I'm a willing participant.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm just gonna buy it because I'd rather play NCAA than Madden. So.
Oh God, yeah.
So yeah, all those kids who are gonna be featured in these games are gonna get a paycheck out of it. So on the bright side of it, everybody's gonna get a chunk of change out of the EA deal, which is, I guess, it's good for them. I kind of understand that if you're gonna, put number 5 on the back of a kid's jersey and just call him HVAC 5, and we all know he's replicating Reggie Bush,
right, or whoever it was. Yeah.
So
yep, no, I get it.
Or number 15 Florida, Tim Tebow. They're just calling him QB 15.
Yep.
They all deserve their cut. I mean, you're taking what they are as an athlete. You're giving all the money to the schools. Man, the kids deserve something out of it.
Right. Like you're really just. Granted, though, like I said before, like a lot of those people that play on those teams are there on scholarships.
Yeah.
They're going to school for free, which a normal student it would cost them fucking 6 figures to go there.
Yeah. So two sides of there's two sides of every story. I'm all I'm for it. But I think they got to cap it at some point. I mean, she can't have these fucking college. These kids.
Like imagine, these kids like 20, 22, 23, making fucking millions of dollars.
Yeah, that quarterback from Alabama made more money.
He was on a Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah, made more money than fucking Trevor Lawrence did.
That's insane.
Yeah, nuts. That's just asinine. That's all it takes. You think about it. He's a professional starting quarterback in the NFL.
And some shithead that's still in school
didn't
even. Nobody didn't. He said like he didn't. I don't even know if he said any words on the commercial.
Probably just spun a football in his hand like that. Yeah, here I am.
If I remember right, he was like sitting on a couch. I really don't. I can't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, good for him, man. Fuck. I guess get it while you got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was something else. But shit. Are we gonna do this next week again? Get back into it?
Yeah, we should.
I ain't really got nothing else.
No, I gotta get going.
All right, well, that's all we got for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll be back next week better than ever. See you later, everybody. Have a good one.